welcome back, everybody, to the play-by-play with me, your host, Matt Severino. I am extremely excited to have you guys back for this one. It's going to be another short one. We're here to talk about the Miami Dolphins versus Baltimore Ravens. And all I gotta say is, wow. That game almost gave me a heart attack. I personally am a Dolphins fan. You see the jersey. And it's been a long time since I've felt the need or want to buy a Dolphins jersey. This jersey that I'm wearing right now, I got when I was 12 years old. It's got stains on it. I don't really ever wear it. I wore it for the first episode of this channel just to rep my team. And yeah, I'm excited to be wearing it again. And if Tua Tagovailoa keeps playing the way he did in the last quarter of the game versus the Ravens, especially next week, if he plays this way next week against the Bills, I'm never going to have to wear this Ryan Tannehill jersey again, because I will be the owner of a brand new Tua Tagovailoa jersey. Wow. I mean, I did not think I would be saying that. Let me get down to the game breakdown before I talk about any more of my emotions. So, the Dolphins were trailing by 21 points going into the fourth quarter. Looking at ESPN's Next Gen stats, even from kickoff, the Ravens had an 80% chance of winning. At half, they had a 96% chance of winning, and it never dipped below 90%, hitting 98 with 13 minutes left in the fourth quarter. 13 minutes left, and somehow the Miami Dolphins scored 4 touchdowns, giving up only 1 field goal to rally back against the Baltimore Ravens. Tua Tagovailoa had 2. I will mention all of the bad. I mean, Tua threw 2 interceptions, horrible interceptions in the first half. The first time he threw into double coverage, both of them he threw into double coverage. It was throw to Tyreek Hill, and the first one was batted up in the air, and it was a fantastic catch by the defensive back. He caught it like between his legs, falling on the ground. It was definitely something to give note to. But wow, I mean, and then after those 2 horrible interceptions, he did throw a touchdown in the first half, but still going into the half, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions doesn't look good at all. Me and my cousin were talking about the game, and we were talking about how we were talking about C.J. Stroud. We were talking about C.J. Stroud at the halftime of this game, hoping that we would possibly get a top 5 pick in the draft this year. And Tua came back in the fourth quarter and shut us up. I mean, hey, I don't want to get too ahead of myself here. You know, we've seen guys have great games all the time. We've seen bums come out of nowhere and have great games. Always, you know, there's always a chance that I don't think it was a fluke. I think we saw what Tua is capable of. Now we just need to see him do this on a consistent level. Let's talk about his stats for a second. He was 36 for 50, 469 yards, 6 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions. 4 of those touchdowns coming in the fourth quarter, and 5 of them in the second half. You know, we don't want first half Tua. That Tua from the first half of this game, I hope I never see him again. We probably will. We're not going to like it. But if second half Tua can become a consistency, the Dolphins' potential this year is limitless. I mean, Lamar Jackson at one point in this game had a perfect passer rating. He was like 21 for 24. Something around there. And he had rushed for 120 yards. And this Dolphins defense, managed to hold the Ravens to 3 points in the fourth quarter, allowing their offense to rally back. I mean, they got quick stop after quick stop, 3 and out, turnover on downs. And you know what? I mean, if I want to point out anything about this Dolphins team, especially the defense, they need to get in the backfield. They need to get pressure on the quarterback without having to blitz. That's an issue. It makes us way too obvious. It makes us too easy to read. It's an issue that needs to be fixed. We really can't. In the NFL, you need to have pressure out of your four man rush. If you can't do that, then you're going to lose games. But we started calling that zero blitz. We started to lean on that in that fourth quarter, and it got right back into Lamar Jackson's head. Lamar Jackson started to struggle, and just to shout out Lamar Jackson, he had 220. He had 21 for 29, 318 yards, and 3 touchdowns, not a single interception on the day, and near perfect passer rating at 142, and 120 yards rushing. Lamar Jackson had an amazing day. He was a monster in that game, and I give the Dolphins defense credit for holding him and the rest of that Ravens offense at bay so their offense could pull off the game. I mean, and it was looking ugly too. First play of the game, the Ravens scored off of a kick return touchdown. They 3 seconds on the clock. They just caught the ball, ran it the whole way. It looked ugly from the beginning. The Ravens scored off of 3 touchdowns that were 75 yards plus through that game. It was not a clean win for the defense. But again, if we can get the team that played in the fourth quarter of this game every single week, the potential for this team is limitless. Right now we're 2-0. And if we play like that every game, I don't even want to give the implications that I'm thinking of here. But yeah, the Dolphins won 42-38. Who else deserves a shout out for the day? Mike McDaniel deserves a shout out for the day because in his first 2 games as an NFL head coach, he played against Bill Belichick and John Harbaugh, and he's 2-0. Give the man a round of applause. I mean, those are 2 of the best coaches in the league. I mean, Bill Belichick is a top 3 coach of all time, and John Harbaugh has been, in and out of Super Bowls his whole career. Shout out Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle, both with 11 receptions, 190 yards for Tyreek Hill, 2 touchdowns. Jalen Waddle, 11 receptions, 171 yards, 2 touchdowns. Both of them had their longest play of the game was 60 yards. Mike Gesicki had an amazing jump catch in the back of the end zone for a touchdown. I mean, if he didn't grab that ball, it was going through the uprights. It was so high up in the air, and he pulled that down. No one, and credit to Tua for putting it up that high because no one on that defense was touching that football. Credit to Mike McDaniel for getting the run game going. Off of 18 carries, we got 86 yards, 4.8 yards per run. I mean, also penalties. The Dolphins need to clean up penalties. We were just killed. I mean, the refs were really, really killing us. They missed a face mask on Marlon. What was his name? Yeah, I think it was Humphrey. Yeah, it was. They missed a face mask call on Marlon Humphrey. It was the play where he basically went to try to stop. Dolphins needed a first down. It was like third and short, and Jalen Waddle caught the ball, and he caught it over the first down marker. Marlon Humphrey came in, and Jalen Waddle got really low, and Humphrey actually went over the top of him. And on his way down, he hooked his fingers inside of Jalen Waddle's face mask. Nobody really caught that, but the hit knocked Waddle back a foot or two. And I thought it was a little bit questionable of a call. They said that Jalen Waddle, he made a football move, he turned upfield, and he did not make it back to the first down marker. That's not something I really would argue. The NFL analyst on the TV said that they would have called it a first down, but again, I'm not going to argue against the refs on that one. But the fact that they missed the face mask was huge because the Ravens had one penalty on the day, and the Dolphins had something like 9 or so. I don't remember the exact number. I don't know if I could find that in the stats. And it added up to something like 50 yards of penalties. Geez, Tua really threw for 470 yards, ladies and gentlemen. Over 120 passer rating. Give the dude some credit. The Dolphins had 547 yards of offense. The Ravens had 473. The Dolphins held the ball for 34 minutes and 47 seconds, adverse to the Ravens 25 minutes and 13 seconds. Let's see if I can see penalties on the screen. Yeah, so the Dolphins were penalized 8 times for 51 yards, adverse to the Ravens, 1 penalty for 5 yards. The refs were killing us. They were on top of everything. They were not letting anything go with the Dolphins, and they were missing stuff on the Ravens side. Now, I'm not going to imply anything off of that, but credit to the Dolphins for coming back from that and having what was the greatest game I have ever seen in my lifetime from the Miami Dolphins. I've seen some bad football. I've seen some good football from the Miami Dolphins, but I've never seen a game like last night. I've never seen a quarterback, a Miami Dolphins. I'm 21 years old, and I have never seen a Miami Dolphins quarterback play like that once in my lifetime, where we were down 21 points, and he threw us back into the lead to clutch the game 42-38. I just want to give him a round of applause. I'm wearing this old, smelly Dolphins jersey with pride today because Tua got it done. Tua Tagovailoa got it done. All the CJ Stroud talks have been quieted. And you know what people could say? Well, he underthrew Tyreek Hill on both of those touchdown passes. I don't care. They were touchdown passes. He got in the end zone. We won the game. So, say what you want about his throwing power. The kid put up 6 touchdowns, 5 of them in the second half. That's all I gotta say. No complaints, except for the fact that a lot of Dolphins fans yesterday underwent some serious heart trouble. And, I'm sorry to any families of anybody who had a heart attack watching that game. Because I almost did myself. I know me and everybody, all my family that I was talking to during that game, we were all shaking. We were in shambles. We did not think that we were going to ever come back in that game. And then that fourth quarter came and wow. I have chills talking about it now. And I don't even want to shut up about it. I really don't. I don't want to stop talking about it. I am so proud of this team. I'm so proud of Mike McDaniel. I'm so proud of Tua Tagovailoa. I am so proud of Tyreek. We all knew what Tyreek was capable of. So proud of Jalen Waddle. So proud of Chris Greer for pulling in this roster and keeping the defense the same, but completely rehashing that offense. And bringing in Tyreek. Today's a good day to be a Dolphins fan. So, if you're a Dolphins fan out there, enjoy the day. Enjoy the week. Be prepared for next week. Next week we play the Buffalo Bills. Next week is a pivotal game for our franchise. Don't expect the win. Don't expect it. But if we do win, it's the beginning of a whole new era. And with that statement, I'm going to conclude this episode, and I am going to wholeheartedly thank every single one of you for tuning in. And you know what? Till next time.